Hi friends and fellow coffee lovers, it's Linda and I am back with two little cutie coffee journals to show you. I love to make coffee journals in the month of September. This is the third year that I've done this, and I do it in September because September 29th is, well, the month of September is National Coffee Month, and National Coffee Day is September 29th, which is coming. So in honor of that, and also because I am a huge fan of coffee, I made these two cute little journals that I want to show you. And as I am showing you them, I'm also sipping, and it's a momentous occasion because I'm sipping some coffee with my very first of the season pumpkin spice creamer. Yes, I am also one of those pumpkin spice people. So, hopefully you still want to join me and take a peek at the journals. So, they are similar but different. I'm going to go through each of them and hopefully not too long and at not too much length. So, a little cutie journal means to me it's a fabric covered paper bag, and they end up being about 6 inches by 4 3/4. So about 6 inches tall by 4 3/4 wide. And they each have about 32 pages or so sides. And this one I covered with this coffee fabric, and I made a ruffle from this adorable coffee bean fabric, and then I adorned the top with this little cluster. These were Tim Holtz trinket pins, which sadly you can no longer get, so I only had a few left, and I chose to use 2 of them on these journals. And to it I attached a little coffee bean. It's a polymer clay bead, I believe, and a little ceramic coffee cup. It's an actual cup, so you could put just a tiny bit of coffee in there for a fairy or for yourself, just one tiny sip. And this little charm that says made with love. I covered the spine with some of my favorite vintage lace, and I used some jute for the ties with eyelets. Okay, so in front here, I made a side pocket from the cover fabric, and I did some stenciling of some coffee beans on some coffee dyed paper to cover the inside. And I have this little vintage library card in the front pocket. This wonderful paper, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get you close so you can see it. My sister made this. You've seen it in a colorful version before. This is my all-time favorite. She and I took a class where we painted papers and used some scrapbook papers and then sewed them together. And this is her sewn paper, and she shared it with me. So isn't that wonderful? So I am now sharing it with you. I thought it was perfect in these coffee journals. And the back of it I lined with some brown mulberry paper. And then, how fun is she? Go Go Mojo, 100% mod coffee. Feeling groovy since 1964. So I made that fun large journal card, and it's tucked under this brown craft paper sewn ruffle. Some more of my favorite pearlized heavy fabric-y paper, which I still don't know the name of, but I love. This is some coffee stained graph paper. This is a page from a coffee calendar that my sister gave me. It's from several years ago, and I've used it in all of my coffee journals, little bits of it. So this has the side of an owl that says, hoot, hoot, where's my coffee? And then this is a little sideways belly band that I made from a piece of that sewn paper. And then I made this Hello Darkness, My Old Friend. And I made it on a paint chip, and the name of the paint chip is Coffee Grounds. And then I covered the back with some paper. I have so many fun coffee images and that I have been collecting throughout the years, and the ephemera in these journals are going to be so unique because I just use all these fun images and rubber stamps that I've been collecting. So I had so much fun putting these together. This is some beloved old scrapbook paper. And then this is a paper bag here that I just filled up with tags. This one says, "But first coffee." This one says, "Grab life by the beans." This was a coffee tag freebie that I found somewhere online, but I will, if I can still find the source, I will credit it in the description box. And may the coffee be with you. And then this is a paper bag, and it has the caffeine loading little bar there, which I think is fun. And then I just made this little tag. This is the coffee plant, and it is also made from a paint chip, and this paint chip is iced mocha with a little fabric topper. So if you're seeing these, they are currently in my Etsy shop, Joyful Makes and Finds. It's been my experience in the past. My coffee journals do not last long, so if you're interested in them, head over there and take a peek. This is just a page of some coffee dyed book page that I received in an Etsy mailing, and I used it. Can't tell here, but this lady is holding a coffee cup. Some ledger, vintage ledger, some coffee dyed paper. This is some Mary Engelbright stationery that I kind of grunged up with a Tim Holtz stencil and added to it. It's teapots or coffee pots. Some music, scrapbook paper. This is a fun little tuck. This is another one of those fun vintage images, and behind it I just have some coffee please note paper. There's a few sheets there. And then this is a paper bag, and inside of it is a little note card that I made several years ago. One year I did a craft fair, and everything I sold in the craft fair was coffee related. And these are a few little gift enclosure cards that I still had left from that time. So it uses a little wooden chip that is in the shape of a coffee cup. So I put one in each of the journals. And then there's a little coffee cup die cut there. This is one of my favorites because I also love the Beatles in addition to coffee. And this says, "All you need is love / coffee." And they're all drinking a cup of coffee. And I love that so much. Okay, here's some more of the stenciling I did with the coffee bean stencil. And this is a very vintage recipe for coffee cake. Okay. This is the back side of the paper bag, and I used this side, the little gusset, for a tuck. And there is a coffee dyed Rolodex card tucked in there, and this wonderful lady, I love her. She can say all kinds of fun things. I've put all kinds of snarky, fun quotes with her. She's just one of those happy 50s housewives. It's a little fairy, and I put a little coffee bean on her dress. This is a fabric flip that uses some burlap, and the two fabrics that I used on the covers and throughout the journals. Then I sewed this one, the little zigzag stitch. So here is the coffee cup on the back side of that vintage book page that was coffee, very nicely coffee dyed. I love that. And then this was a really fun element. This is one of my favorite rubber stamps. When I said I have some fun coffee rubber stamps. Looking for Mr. Right? Nah. Mr. Wonderful? Nah. Mr. Coffee. And this background is a background that I made. It looks like real coffee staining. I made it on glossy paper with alcohol inks. And then it's tucked inside of this coffee dyed CD envelope, and I made it into a shaker page, and there are sequins and real coffee beans inside of there. So if you ever had a true coffee emergency, you know, where you have a few beans you could grind. Okay. There's a two pocket page, and I put a couple of my favorite little fun images, little memes. There are two kinds of people, coffee people and sad people. And a day without coffee is like, just kidding, I have no idea. Just some fun there. This is a little die cut coffee cup and a coffee dyed index card that I tucked in here for journaling. This is the back side of the owl from the coffee calendar, and I'm scooting it right out of frame. I apologize. There's a little bit of the ruffle left over from the cover that I added to this page. And love this one. Love her, first of all. That's how I feel. I'll have a cafe mocha vodka Valium latte to go, please. Isn't that fun? On this coffee stained index card made into a tag. And it's tucked inside of a pocket, which is a Java jacket for holding a hot cup of coffee. This is the back side of my sister's beautiful hand sewn paper. And tucked back here, I have no idea where this came from, and there's only one, so the other journal does not have this sweet little feature. It is even a tiny difference in freshness makes a big difference in flavor. Chase and Sanborn coffee. It's an old vintage style postcard. And the tuck here is a coffee bean paint chip. And it is the back page, and there is the envelope, the opening of the paper bag. Right now there's nothing in there. Just also, those of you who purchase my journals, you know, but you always get a package of offcuts and fabric snippets and buttons and such, and sometimes it could be tucked into this back pocket in a little cutie, or it could be just in the package itself. And you're also going to get your own little sample of coffee, a little 1 cup Taster's Choice house blend. So I was going to put this inside like I do the teapot, but these little like I do the tea bags, but these little journals got pretty chunky, so I didn't want to add any more bulk. So this is journal number 1. Journal number 2 I'll go through a little faster. And you'll see that there's just a few differences, really not many. They are nearly identical. So identical here. The same groovy mod teen here. Love her. Feeling groovy since 1964. A little bit like me, although I've been feeling groovy since 1962, but who's counting, right? Okay. This is the Hello Darkness, My Old Friend card for this journal. It's got a little, just a little bit different. Same little cute couple here with the coffee note paper. And the same little pocket here with the coffee note card. This is a little different image, these two coffee friends. This was on a piece of scrapbook paper, and it was the only little image like that I had left. Let's see. All right. Sorry about that. The Fab Four, all you need is coffee. This is a vintage page, the last book had a vintage page from a book. This one has a vintage page from a letter writing book. And then this is the paper bag filled with tags, tucked in the side. This one says coffee solves everything. And then the coffee bean plant tag in the bag. And there's room for more in that bag as well. And this is actually a coffee pod with the little coffee beans. This is the center is this is the page that I used from the calendar for this journal, and it has the coffee cup, and then I made 2 pockets on either backside, and I have the fun little sayings and some tickets on this side, and a fun little saying, and the little die cut tag of the coffee cup, and this wonderful paper. I just had this tiny little piece, and I thought, well, it looks like it belongs in a coffee journal, so just tuck that in there. This is the fabric flip for this page. For this book, I mean, I'm sorry. Lots of writing room in here. This is the vintage coffee cake recipe card. And this fun coffee lady with the coffee dyed Rolodex card in there. And a little fairy. And this is the fun CD pocket with the coffee beans and the glitter. And the Mr. Right, Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Coffee tag. I love that. I love a good snarky tag or saying. And then the little bit of ruffle on the back page, and this lady with this coffee cup that says, "I'll have a cafe mocha vodka Valium latte to go, please," in the Java jacket pocket. And then this is the very back again, the opening of the paper bag. And this is Coffee Journal Little Cutie number 2. So these are currently in my Etsy shop. If you're interested in learning more about them, you're welcome to head over there. And I have squirrel and owl journals in the works. I'm just continuing on with fall for a bit longer. And those squirrel journals are fun. So anyway, I will see you soon. Thank you, as always, for taking a few minutes to watch my flip through. And I appreciate it very much. I also appreciate anytime you can check the hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't, because I welcome you. So anyway, that's it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.